Hello, everyone. Welcome to WinCat Sports. And due to the early exit of the Lions, we are doing our season overview probably about 2 weeks earlier than we thought we would be. But it was not a bad
Kind of
year.
upset about that, but
It was not a bad year overall. 15-2, first time you've been the number one seed in the NFC. First time winning the division back-to-back years. New touchdown record set by Gibbs this year. A lot of positives, a lot of records broken, and hopefully, even though with the exit of probably both their coordinators, with Ben Johnson already leaving for Chicago, I'm for sure Aaron Glenn will be in New Orleans or the Jets by this time next week, if not in the next couple of days. There is a lot of questions going into next year, but that will be a video for another time. We're focusing on the year that happened. So overall, throughout this year, Goff, not bad. He threw for 4,600 yards, a total of, let's get to the T, 37 TDs and 12 interceptions, was sacked a total of 31 times. Not a bad year by Goff at all. You can't fault him for nothing. He did not get hurt this year, which was good. And in the end, right, you have nothing to complain about. He's a Pro Bowler. You can complain about his performance in the playoff all you want, but you can still say he is a good quarterback. And it doesn't matter. You're probably not going to win a Super Bowl because of Goff, but I think you can still win a Super Bowl with Goff.
right, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, he's 15-2. We had an amazing year, very entertaining. 17 weeks of fun football. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted it, and we're going to. Our window is still open for, I think, another year or two. Other teams are catching up.
Their division is not going to be easier.
It doesn't mean that we can't get better.
No.
We still got a draft coming up, and got a lot of money under the cap
60 mil.
spend. So we're in good position, and I don't think I know people are disheartened. There are no guarantees. For me, I think, like I said, as I get older, it's not all about championships. It's about quality football, having fun thing, having a competitive team that has a shot. Because really, that's all you can ask for, unless you're Patrick Mahomes and stuff, and you get every you're gonna win 8 of them or something like that. But for most of us, it's like I said, you're lucky to see one Super Bowl, and we still have a shot.
Window is closing though. It is starting to close.
That's what it does. That's what it does, and then it reopens.
Listen,
I think we're in good hands.
People have been talking, right, with your loss in the divisional round, right? Now we're, instead of being the laughing stock of the regular season, you're the laughing stock of the postseason. Which honestly, I prefer that, because I'd rather get lucky one year and actually win it compared to never seeing it.
Right.
I'd rather be a laughing stock of the postseason as a Lions fan than
I think the big question is, I think we know that Aaron Glenn's probably going to be gone too. Ben Johnson already has gone to Chicago, who our offensive coordinating and defensive coordinator candidates are. You've mentioned Robert Saleh, who is, like I said, I'm
calling up people inside the org. But we're talking about this season, not next season.
Next season,
there'll be a different video next season. This season we're going over.
Oh well,
okay. Overall, no, it was a good year. No,
okay.
You have 4 guys who had more than 1,000 total yards. Gibbs ran for 1,400 yards this year. Montgomery, if he didn't get hurt, probably would also have eclipsed 1,000 yards rushing.
Right.
He would have 2,000-yard rushers. St. Brown had 1,200 yards receiving. Jameson Williams had 1,000 yards receiving, 1,001 to be exact. Laporta, even though it seemed like he had a down year, he had 7 TDs and received for 726 yards. That's good for a tight end.
Yes.
That's not bad for a tight end. That's pretty decent for a tight end.
He wasn't as prominent as we thought last year was, but he's still top tight end. And I think that's only because, like I said, the game plan, there's so many different weapons to use and stuff. And so when we needed him, made an incredible catch in that Washington game. Like I said, I think the future's still pretty bright for us. That doesn't mean
Kirby Joseph,
but
Kirby Joseph led the league in interceptions this year. Don't know the last time a Lions player did that.
Yep.
But secondary looks a little bit better. Jack Campbell led your team in tackles with 131. That's pretty good. A thing you're probably going to have to work on next year, which is sad. Aiden Hutchinson led your team in sacks with 7.5. And he only played 5 games. Just to show you where your improvement probably needs to happen next year. This year, Aiden Hutchinson led the team in sacks with 7.5 through 5 games.
And the fact that you have 15-2 with that stat is amazing.
And then Zadarius Smith was second place on your team with 4.
Wow.
And that's after he got traded here.
That's just crazy.
So if you could imagine having Smith on one side and Hutchinson on the other next year, that will massively improve your chances, I think, because
maybe Matt Crosby.
Well, we'll talk about potential who could be on the team in another video too. But again, it's a good year. You had a good year. Your defense line just struggled without Hutchinson. I'm sure if Hutch was in that game during the playoffs and he didn't get hurt, you might have went 16-1. And, you would have had the bye, and then you would have handed Daniels better than you did. And maybe we're not talking about this season overlook view right now. And we're more eyeing the Super Bowl and talking about that. But that's not the case. Injuries happen. I know people have talked about fighting your strength and conditioning coaches because, your whole defense gets hurt. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening, how they end up looking at this season and seeing where their improvements. Because you're not losing a lot of people next year.
Right.
And it's good. I mean, we'll see what ends up happening.
Right. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, if you do want to take a quick sneak peek into next year before we dive into, a video later on about it, we could take a quick sneak peek into next year's schedule because, our home schedule is not going to be that bad. But our away schedule is, pretty daunting. Pretty daunting, if I do say so.
I don't care. Beat them all.
Because looking at your schedule,
17-0 next year.
Looking at your schedule overall, it's going to be interesting because your home games are going to be easy. Your typical division opponents: Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota.
That could be easy.
Dallas.
Say that.
Dallas, New York Giants, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Tampa. Again, personally, at the moment, I'm only concerned about one team, and that would be Tampa. And maybe Pittsburgh. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe there. But overall, your home schedule is pretty good. Your away schedule, though, if the teams are even roughly how they are this year, is not great. Chicago, which is going to be better. Minnesota, Green Bay.
Right.
All right. So typically, again, 2 playoff teams right there. But Minnesota might falter a little bit with JJ being their quarterback. Washington, you're going to Washington.
No!
Who just
never
beat
win
you.
in RFK.
Well, they don't play in that anymore, but
it's always feel like RFK to me.
They don't even play in it, admittedly. But then you're also going to Philly. Not great.
No.
Cincinnati. Not great. Baltimore. Not great. Kansas City.
Not great.
And then the Rams. You're going to LA to play the Rams.
That is a really tough schedule.
That is a terrible road. Even if these teams aren't great,
I say we're going to be 6-11 next year already.
I think you're at 10 wins, if I'm honest.
Who knows?
That's my predictions. 10 wins. But again, you have to see how this year goes. This offseason is going to fully tell you how this team's going to look next year. Again, you have $60 million cap. Most of your teams returning. Everybody has people who they want to re-sign. But I'm not re-signing Zeitler. I'm sorry. Mahogany played amazing in the playoff game. And I think he's ready to play regularly and have him fill in the role.
He might be.
You save money by not signing Zeitler. You need to re-sign Hutch at least by next offseason. You need to give Kirby Joseph his money. So it's who you want to keep and who you don't.
Mahogany will be back, but will he be injury prone?
That's a question. But he was injured at the start of the season. He started the year injured. So we'll see what ends up happening. But it was a good year. Lions fans should not be upset about anything. Yes, we wanted a Super Bowl. We felt like this was our year. It happens.
Yeah.
You're not used to
Move on. Stop.
You're not
crying.
You're not used to being good and losing. You know how to lose. You're just not used to losing while you're good. And if we can go 3 straight years, 4 straight years of being a good team, I'll take that. At least it's some enjoyment watching them play instead of every week being like, how are we going to lose this time? Like the Chicago Bears were this year.
What do we look like? We're going to draft like around 25 or something?
I think it's, like 20. I want to say 20. It's not 28, but something around there, like 26, something like that. Upper 20s is where you're drafting. Some people think we might be going after Sawyer.
Sawyer.
Have Ohio State and Michigan on the ends.
That's right.
But we'll see what ends up happening. But we'll end it here. Again, it's not an upsetting year. Goff played well. Your offense played well. Your defense did okay without Hutch. You won 15 games without Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Now imagine having him for a whole year. Hopefully he can return back to form. But
let's do it.
Let's have a good year next year. Stay positive, right? And we'll keep going. But with all that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you felt about this season. Yes, a disappointing playoff performance, but a great regular season. And until next time, see everybody soon.